part 5 of my testimony. I just said yes to Jesus. I'm in the first week, and I have to go back 3 for you to understand this. I love rock and roll. Disturbed, Linkin Park, Korn, System of a Down, Godsmack, things like that. And I remember listening to this. That 3rd month seeking God was my worst. I was swimming in depression and anxiety and suicidal thoughts. And I just remember having this thought with the music, saying, this music is just making me wallow in my sorrow. I need to change it to something more positive. So, it ends up, after talking to someone, I start listening to 80s rock at work with my coworker. And that was doing the trick. It was upbeat. It was different. Then boom, my first week with Jesus. I'm listening to this 80s rock. And I hear a thought go through my head so loud. It wasn't audible, but it was a thought nonetheless. And it said, listen to this music. It glorifies sin. It is not of me. And I was just taken aback. I'm like, Lord, if it's not of you, I don't want it. And that's when I started listening to the gospel music, anytime of Christian music, full time, rejecting secular music that had anything to do with glorifying sin. A couple months go by, and I remember riding home. I'm listening to this gospel station, and Skillet comes on the radio. One of the bands I like. I didn't know they were a Christian band. That led to a rabbit hole that night of finding a bunch of Christian bands that I would listen to and not know they were Christian bands. And every time I listened to them, in my unbelief, I felt the Holy Spirit. And I didn't realize that. Only now, after saying yes to Jesus, and after a couple months, I understood what it was to have the Holy Spirit and feel the Holy Spirit while in praise and worship. And I didn't realize that I was experiencing Him when I was an unbeliever. And it's weird because a couple years ago, I equated those feelings to chemical reactions because, my sister and my mom were talking about, worship and how it lifts you up. And I basically told her, yeah, I get lifted up with music too. It's just chemical reactions. And here I am. The Lord's showing me, look, I talked through many things. I was calling you in your unbelief. You were experiencing the Holy Spirit in your unbelief. When I was calling you, every time you heard a song that was incognito glorifying me, you were worshiping me without even knowing it. You were being filled with the Holy Spirit without even knowing it. All the while, you were still rejecting me. If you don't know Jesus, and you're like me who wanted to reject the Bible wanted to reject every religion because man twists everything it touches. Seek the Creator. If you truly want to know if He's real, and you don't want to go to hell if it's real, and understand that the only way not to go there is to know Him. Seek Him and trust that He will answer you. Follow me for the next one.